Well, hello, boys and girls. It is your favourite grumpy granny from Groggy's Patch, and I am back once again with another little one of my daily nuggets. And today I'm going to talk to you about line-by-line accounting, because it's kind of a bit surprising to me that a lot of people don't actually know how much profit they're actually making off each item that they sell. They kind of have a guess in their brain, or they think they know, but do you really know that you're making a profit when you sell something? And especially at the beginning, if you are a new seller, a new reseller, it's really important that you know. And even if you are a seasoned seller, in my opinion, it's a great idea to go back and do a refresh. And, whether that's the first couple of days of every month, go and do a few lots of line by line accounting with your items and run them through the spreadsheet, just to make sure that you are actually making some money. Because what's the point of reselling, whether it's a side hustle or you're doing it full time, if you're not actually making a profit? So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to pause this and I'm going to share my screen. Right, here we are. Now, this is just a basic spreadsheet that I've been using for some time to do my line-by-line accounting. And if anyone hasn't got something like this and doesn't know how to do one, I'm actually going to drop this in my Discord channel in the documents section, a blank version, and hopefully everything works the way it's supposed to work, but it'll just give you something to get started with until you get to the point where you need something more. I will actually be doing a review of a couple of the reseller spreadsheets that you can purchase in the coming weeks. One of those is Chris Furlong and Ethan Rushock's reseller spreadsheet. And then the other is Brad's from Two Aussie Thrifters, his reselling spreadsheet. And they're both quite different and do things in a different way. So you'll be able to work out by, having it. I'll just do a quick review and let you know how they work, and you'll be able to decide which one you would like to get. But for now, we're just going to be worrying about my reseller spreadsheet here, which is just a basic spreadsheet, basically. So here we are. We are in here. And this is basic. There's not a lot of, headings and things like that. So I'm just going to run through how it works, because you need to know how much money you receive from an item when you sell it, and how much money gets taken out of that item to pay for the cost of selling it. And that will then give you a profit amount. Now, this, of course, does not take into account your other ongoing expenses like power, phone, what else can I think of? Your petrol, all those sorts of things. This is just a basic line by line on your actual items to show you, to see that you're actually making a profit. So the first one we're going to look at here is this, the first entry for the 1st of January. And on my spreadsheet, I put in, now these are just some of the things that I like to know. You may not like to use, you may not want something so specific, but I'll explain what I do. So I have my sheets set up so that I enter in the day that this is sold, the item is sold. I then also add in the next column, I add in the day that I listed it. And then this will automatically calculate the amount of days it took to sell, because I want to know how long it took to sell. Is it a worthwhile thing to have again? Also, up the top here, this is actually an average, because I like to know what the average amount of days over the whole lot that it takes for me to sell an item. And that's just a quick metric I like to see in my head. The next column is for a description of the item. And I just cut and paste that out of eBay or Depop, depending which one it has sold from. Column F is for my authors. Now, that's something that not everyone wants to do, but as a bookseller, I later on do like to, a couple of times a year, go through and compilate, make up another sort of formula that will actually grab out all of those put them all together and tell me how many times that particular author sold, so then I can work out which are the ones that are worthwhile getting and which ones are not. So that's just, you may not necessarily need that column, but that's one that I do. The next column, which is column G, is for the category. These are my categories. So I like to know how my specific categories that I do, how they're performing against each other. So I have something further on that actually calculates all that, but we'll deal with that another day. But this one is just gives me some basic categories of the things that I sell, which are jeans. You'll see there jeans, books, men's clothing, women's clothing, books, hats, toys. So that's what's been sold in the few days that I've been at these entries that I've put in. Column H is source. Now, again, this is another one that's personal to me. Not everyone wants to know this, but for me, I want to know whether it's worthwhile heading to a specific place. Because if I go to Bendigo and I look down my list and I haven't sold a single thing that I bought in Bendigo, well, I don't want to go there again. So I actually want to know where the things came from. So hence why I don't do it by store in each town. I do it basically by the town. And so in Mildura, for example, I might have gone to 4 different op shops, but this will just tell me that I bought it in Mildura. So whether it's worthwhile me going back there again. The next item, the next column over is probably getting back to your more basic stuff that you need to know when you're doing your line-by-line accounting, which is your COG or COG, which, boys and girls, for those of you that are new, is your cost of goods. So that's what you paid for it. So I put in my cost of goods. In this instance, the jeans that we're looking at the moment cost $3.70. And then I want to know how much money in the individual things. Now, I have mine set up so that when I'm inputting this straight from either eBay or Depop, rather than having to pre-calculate it in my head and work things out, I want to just quickly be able to put the data in. So I have this set up so that that's how this works. So it puts in how much I got for the item, which was $15. The postage I received was $11.50. Was there a discount applied that has to come off, like a voucher? In this case, no. And how much total revenue was there? So $26.50. Then the next couple of sections are for the fees. So we've got our transaction fee, which is our normal fee that we pay, which is $3.80 in this case. And then the ad fee is for the promoted listing fee on eBay or the boosted fee on Depop. So that goes into there. Gives us a total of what the fees were, and then it actually over here gives me a percentage, and that's just again for my own looky-loo so that I can look at straight away. I don't have to sort of work out whether I'm paying too much for fees, and that sort of helps when you're working out how much you do want to promote your items or if you do at all. And so in this instance it's 13% of what I received. Over here in the next column, that automatically calculates, and so do the eBay fees automatically calculate. In the postage, I put in how much the postage has actually cost me. So in this instance, it cost $8.59 for this parcel for me to post it. And I also put in how much each of my bubble mailers cost, because that's a fairly decent expense that you have to pay. And then we have the revenue column and the expenses column, which both automatically calculate based on the previous information that we've put in. So for these jeans, we received $26.50 in revenue, and it cost us $17.15 all in total to sell this item, which means we've come away with a profit of $9.35, which is just under my metric, but that's okay. So I like to actually have at least $10 or more profit on each item that I sell. Now, $9.35 is just under there a little bit, so it's not too bad. But, $10 is what I aim for. Now, we're going to go now and have a look at the next one. So we'll just have a look at a couple of them so you can see. So this one is a book. It's sold on the 1st of January. I listed on the 25th of December, so it only took 7 days to sell, which is good. Not surprising because it was a history book, a vintage one, 1977, about the Rome and Byzantium times. I've got the author there. I've got that it's books. This one was actually from my death pile, which is why it says stock, because that was stock from the previous year. And so therefore it's $1 cost of goods. So I received a total of $26.38 plus $11.50 post. However, this buyer did use the 12% coupon that I've got on eBay, so it has to take away $3.17. Therefore, the amount we received for this book is $34.71. I had to pay $4.87 transaction fees and $1.72 ad fees. The problem with eBay is that there are different fees for different categories, so it's actually quite hard to work out. Depop, on the other hand, well, it's pretty easy because, you know, it's a straight 10%, and that is so good. Like, it makes it much easier. But anyhow, let's get back to the one that we're looking at. And I will have to check on these because I don't know why they are coming up as 9%, because they're all Depop ones and they should come up as 10%. But anyway, I'll have to look at that formula that I have in there. So this just tells me in a percentage what I'm paying in fees. And that's just easy, looky-loo. You can look straight away and see whether you're paying too much in eBay fees in a particular category because you've got them promoted more, or is it because that the fees on that category are more? And yeah, you can work it out that way. The next column is for postage, so how much it actually cost me, as I said. So in this instance, I had to post to a rural area, so it cost me $10.07. And again, my packaging. So the total revenue was $34.71 less the $18.72, which gives me $15.99 profit, which, yeah, I like that. All right, the next one, we're going to go down and have a look at this one down here. So this one was on the 1st of January. I listed it on the 29th of December. So it only been listed on Depop, because this is a Depop sale, for 3 days. It was a Nautica men's long sleeve blue button-up shirt, pretty basic stripy looking check thing. You know, nothing special about it. It was a 2XL. And you'll see here, this column here has got the D in it, and that's for Depop, if you haven't already worked that out. And so this one is in the men's clothing section here. And I bought this one a long time ago from the Look First op shop in Donald here. So it only cost me $3. Now, with this one, the buyer actually messaged me and asked me, I had it listed for around $17, $18, I think, plus post, because I had it running with a discount on it. And the buyer messaged me and asked me, would I take a total of $20 including post, which meant that the shirt was only going to be $9. And that's well below what I like to get. But then I had to stop and think, I've had this shirt for a really long time. I had it listed on eBay for ages, and I'm going to say probably 12 months, a good 12 months, and it didn't sell. And even though it sold really quickly on Depop, you know, that particular item I've had for a long time. So I decided in the end to actually accept it. Now, normally with something like that, I would actually enter the details into this spreadsheet so that I can actually see, is it going to give me a profit at least? I didn't in this instance, but because I thought I just needed to get rid of it. And so I was a bit nervous entering the figures for this one in. But as you can see, because there was no boosting or discount on there, we received $20 for the item, straight 10% transaction fee from Depop, which was $2. This item wasn't boosted, so there were no other fees, and I paid $8.59 in postage. So luckily for me, it was a Metro sale. So in the end, I made $5.35 on this sale. Now, it would have been a bit of a difference, and I'll just put this in so you can see. If I had have posted this item to a rural area, it would have cost me $10.07, and therefore I would have been only just coming out with $3.87. So that's just something to keep an eye on too, because regardless of what band you're on, it costs you more to send something rural than it does to send it to what they call a metro area. So just something to keep an eye on. So yeah, so that's basic line by line accounting. And there are, well, you can sort of see a peek over here, other things I have in my spreadsheet, but I do not want to have this video go for too long and confuse you with lots of facts and figures. So that is just basic line by line accounting. And as I said, I am going to drop a blank copy of my spreadsheet in my Discord. And I have made a previous video how to get in the Discord if you don't know, and there is a link on the top of my channel page how to get in there, and there will be a link in this description for this as well. Feel free to come in, say hello, and become part of the Discord group, because it's a really great group. And yeah, just please make sure that you're not guessing. Please don't guess. I think I'm making a profit, but are you? It becomes especially important if you are using the free post model, where you have incorporated the cost of the post into the sale. And then in that case, if someone had offered me $9 for postage, and had offered me money, like say $15 for that shirt, but it was free post, I actually would have lost money. Yet you think selling something for $15, oh yeah, that'll cover it, I'll be right. But I actually wouldn't have been right, because by the time I paid my fees, I would have actually finished up making a loss on that sale. And that's why it's really important to actually do it, and then and doing it originally for me let me work out then what my store metrics were going to be, which is I want to make a minimum profit of $10 an item. 90% of the time. There are the odd ones that will go under. But sometimes you do that because you need the sale and you have had something for quite some time. And I think in that case, it's okay to let it go for a bit less, because it's better for me to put that $5 into my pocket and use that to go and buy something else than it is to hang on to that shirt just so I can get those couple of dollars more, and it may sit there for another 12 months. So that is it, boys and girls. And I don't actually have to show you any what sold today either, because I've already done that. And everybody will see your names, all my members. Thank you so much. And super sticker people all down the bottom here. And look, honestly, I just want to say thank you so much. I mean, I'm very humbled by it. And it makes me all warm and fuzzy inside and feel wonderful, because it's not necessary. It's part of getting my YouTube channel, creating these things like the memberships and all that sort of thing is allowing me to get to the next level of monetization, which is the ad money. But I guess for me, it's you showing your gratitude and doing these super stickers and the memberships for me and saying thank you. It actually shows me that you appreciate the content that I'm making. And that just gives me such a buzz. I'm just so excited that it's gotten to this point, because when I started, I never thought it would. So I really do a very, very humble thank you very much. And I really, really do appreciate it more than you know. It's just, yeah, fantastic. So thank you. And I will see you tomorrow.